Alright, everybody, welcome to the stream for Friday Night Thunder at Phoenix. As we are getting loaded in here, we are joined by True Vibes 335, who's going to assist with some commentating tonight. True Vibes, how you doing, buddy? Do you have your hang on, I think I gotta include your audio here. I'm sorry about that. If you could check that off and make sure to include your audio. I'm sorry about that.
Alright, here we go.
Alright, True Vibes, how you doing, bud?
Doing good, man. How about you?
Oh, living the dream, brother, living the dream. Alright, so, these guys have already taken the green flag here. I'm spectating ICJ, who is your leader. I'm assuming this is coming to the end of lap 1 as he pounds the wall in 3 and 4 there. So what's your overall expectations for tonight?
I'm expecting good racing, fun time.
Alright, well, there is some technical difficulties going on early, I'm hearing from ICJ. So they are going to restart the race.
Alright.
So I will pause the stream, let these guys fix their technical difficulties, and we will be right back. Alright, now we are getting loaded back in to Friday Night Thunder at Phoenix. These guys experienced some technical difficulties. Had a couple drivers lag out in the really early going here. So we are going to get loaded back in. They're going to restart their race, being that they only ran a lap or two. And we'll catch this thing at the green flag. True Vibes, the co-broadcaster, is going to be right back. But let's get this thing started at Phoenix for Memorial Day weekend with the Friday Night Thunder. So we have ICJ leading them to the green flag. Everybody's spreading out down low in the dog leg here and heading into turn 1. Got cars going 3 wide, 4 wide. So there's the 12 down low. 24 stays clear of them. 32 on the outside of the 12, falling back into the 3rd position. Now let's take it through the field and introduce some of these drivers here. So we got ICJ in the number 24. Got Thunderclaps in the number 32. Keep in mind, he ran a really strong race last week and made that unfortunate mistake on their green flag pit stops. So you know he's looking to bounce back this weekend at Phoenix. Behind him, you've got Blues Fan running his patriotic number 12 paint scheme. That is last week's winner from Las Vegas. As we are joined back by True Vibes, I'm just taking them through the field here. We've got CNAK2448KY in the number 2. Running in about the 5th position right now. Got the number 73, I'm the Breed. Got the number 22, Mountain Ranger. Now, if I am correct, he is currently serving in our military. So, everybody, let's make sure we thank him for his service. Got HBR McNabb in the number 11. SB Royal Key in the number 18. Any Cool Gamer Tag in the number 21. Comical Sphinx.
Oh, Jay gets into the wall here.
Oh, so we have Jay getting into the wall from the lead here. We have Key Cell in the number 14. IDGT X2ENT, number 8. Lost my plan B. Last week's runner-up in that last lap pass with Blues Fan last week at Vegas. See if he can rebound and have a strong weekend here as he just gets up into the wall there at turn 3 and 4. Harvick Fan, number 4.
Seems like Jay's losing time here as we got 2 cars coming up on him after he hit the wall. He might have some damage on the side of that car.
And damage at a short track really affects the turning on the cars, especially on corner entry. So,
yep,
messing that right side up early on, but luckily he will be able to get that damage fixed whenever he gets into the pit stops. To round out the pack, though, we've got Pastrana in the number 9. Got McQuillan in the number 6. And we're back to the lead, ICJ, which True Vibes was just telling us how he got into the wall. And now he's losing a little bit of time to the 12 of Blues Fan and the 11 of HBR McNabb. So we're going to watch these guys and see just what happens here. True Vibes, tell me about yourself, man. This is our first time commentating together and being in a party together, so tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me about, you know, your background with the game, things like that.
My background with this game goes back a little bit, pretty far, ever since, you know, NASCAR 09 have been in leagues, disassociating, helping out with people, having good, you know, just trying to help out, and, what am I trying to say here? Well, I'm basically
no need to be nervous, bud.
I know.
I'm pretty easy going. I ain't gonna judge you too harshly.
Well, this league right now. For this one, me and Jay, we started this one out last season with good hearts, trying to help out people and have a positive community. And now, coming to this season, we have Cup and Xfinity, and I've been running Xfinity for now. And, you know, this season we're hoping to have really good racing, a lot of good, you know, teams and people, and just have some fun for this season, you know?
Oh, yeah, I understand completely.
Mm-hmm.
So, to introduce myself to you, I actually just started streaming a few weeks ago. This is my second race with Friday Night Thunder that I've streamed. I streamed their race at Las Vegas last week. Just as you were speaking about, as far as y'all hoping to have good racing this season through the Xfinity and Cup Series, last week was by far some of the best racing that I've seen that I've streamed. They went caution free last week, side by side through the corners, last lap pass. I mean, just all the action and all the drama that you would hope for with this group of guys like this right here. And so far, for it to be Phoenix, which can be a very complicated track, these guys are starting to get spread out here. Noticing 4 to 5 car length gaps between most of the field. It looks like they've separated themselves into about 3 different packs, what I'm seeing currently. But
it seems like we have, I mean, interrupt you here, but it seems like we have some guys that are being really conservative here, and then we got some other guys who are kind of pushing it throughout this stage. But I really do love the chemistry of these guys. Some of these guys from last season are here and helping out the new guys throughout this season, and I think chemistry link is what's really helping these guys race as well as they do. You know, we have a lot of different characters out here, which really helps out with the standpoint of how these guys really race, and I think that's a good thing.
absolutely, it always helps when you've got some guys who've been in a certain league for a few seasons, and then you get the new guys to come in. And what you typically see, and I mean, I'm guilty of it myself in the leagues that I've been in. The new guys come in and they have to prove a point that they belong there, so they race really aggressively, and they do their best to establish a dominance almost, like they are the fastest car out there. And what tends to happen is that aggression turns into maybe some moves they shouldn't make, or maybe it's a move that they make at the wrong time of the race. And like I said, I'm guilty of it myself. I believe we're all guilty of it. But, you know, that's where those experienced guys, you know, need to talk to those new ones and say, hey man, you know, calm it down a little bit. It's a long race. It'll all come together if it's supposed to. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't try to win, as we have the 12 car just pounded the wall coming off turn 4 here. That looks to be a single car incident. I'm not seeing a caution on the speedway. But
Yeah, it seems like the 96 car's got some damage here too. He's going to be lapped here by Jay right about now as he lets him by.
Let me work my way back up to Jay here in the front. And yes, he does let him by.
Yeah, that's one guy I'm surprised to see have some significant damage like that. Normally that guy can, you know, he's aware of his surroundings and avoiding them. But it seems like he just couldn't get out of this one, and he's going to be dropping back for a little bit. Hopefully we see him later in the stages, but, you know, things happen.
Definitely looks like early on, especially with they use the preset sliders. It can definitely be a struggle if you don't get the correct slider in. It looks like he's a little bit tight. You see him staying up on the high side of the track, which could just be because he's letting guys by. But I mean, I was spectating him early on, and he just seems to be trying to just stay out of the way, just click his laps down, maybe just to get to the point where he can conserve that right rear, get his pit adjustments into where maybe he can have something for these guys later on. 24 just hit the wall again in the middle of the back straightaway there.
Yeah, 18 also hit the wall right after him. I think it's like they're following the same line, trying to get a good rhythm going here. If I were the 18 car, though, I would change up my line, get out of that dirty air, instead of following him into his tracks.
Well, it seems as though the 24 is backing up his corners just a little bit more, and allows him to get a better run off. He messed his line up a little bit that time. The 18's getting right up to his bumper entering turn 3.
18 might do something right here to get through the lead, though.
Might have him, which you see
Crossover
24. 24 nails the inside wall. Passes the
Inside
lead
the
to the
wall.
18, the 2
Hard
and the
hit.
11, both, or was that the 2 and the 11 there? Yeah, the 2 and the 11, both
Into
passing.
11, yeah.
First to fourth in the matter of a straightaway. One mistake.
It seems like he wasn't ready for that crossover move. 18 didn't get on him or anything there. It's just, I feel like he thought he was going to come up to his inside.
Well, I
It
noticed the line that 18 was running was through 3 and 4, he would get on the throttle a lot sooner as the 9 is entering the pits. But the 18 would get on the throttle a lot sooner going through 3 and 4, and he would arc it all the way up to the wall to cross the start finish line, while ICJ was staying as low as he could on the track to protect his inside, because the inside is
mm-hmm.
where you want to be. So that is SB Royal Key B in the 18 car who took the lead here. Now he's got the 2 car by probably about 7 to 8 car lengths as they get around the 21 of Any Cool Gamer tag right now, going, I believe, what is his second lap down.
Seems like we have 2 cars coming to pit lane for strategy right now, too. The HBR and I think the 47 cars, Comical, is also going down there, too.
Well, strategy can be really interesting at a track like Phoenix because
Mm-hmm.
this track is so hard on your right rear tire. I mean, in my experience with this track, your right rear tire wears out before you ever have to pit for fuel or anything. So,
Yeah, and that's because of how hard you push through the corners, especially coming through 3 and 4. Depending on how you arc and enter that corner, a lot of weight transfers to that right rear, and that's what causes that wear to go really quick.
absolutely, which it'll be interesting to see after these guys make some pit stops, maybe entering stage 2, where they've made air pressure adjustments and things of that nature, just who will be able to push their car further. Because if
Mm-hmm.
they can push their car further, they're going to have the advantage in the long runs with the fresher tires. And, maybe that's when we'll see cars like HBR McNabb, as you mentioned, who made his green flag pit stop. He might come
Jay's coming
along
down
and
here now, too. Don't mean to interrupt you.
he might come along here and be able to outlast these other guys. You're going to have guys who are pushing to make their car faster in the short run, create a big gap, and then you're going to have other cars come in the long run to be able to close that gap. So it's going to be interesting to see here. As I'm now spectating a 47 of Comical, who is really caught up to this 2 car. He is within 5 car lengths, and it looks as though the 18 has also lost time. So you got your top 3 here under a blanket. And they should be getting close to green flag pit stops if I am correct.
Yeah, the 18 and the 2 here have been really conservative the whole race, so let's see when they're going to come down. I'd give it about 3 laps, 2 to 3, as they are door banging right now, 47 and 2.
Yep, I just seen the 47. Looked like he entered turn 3 a little bit too low. Tried to dodge the wall, got into the 2 car a little bit, but they got it straightened out as the 18 dives way low on the apron to enter the pits. That passes the lead over to the 47 of Comical Sphinx. And the 2 stays out with him. And behind them, you've got the 6. And that is McQuillan. And the 2 is now making his green flag pit stop. So let's check in on ICJ here. Where is he at? He is going
somewhere
through
in this
one.
field.
Yeah, he is going through turn 1 and 2 here.
See if Jay can recover from this damage here. I know he went to pits. I don't know if he repaired himself or not. Does he lose time or not or anything?
Yeah,
Hopefully he repaired the fender, but
I'm not completely sure. He had fallen back. I would imagine with that damage, he pitted as soon as possible. Maybe hoping to get back up toward the lead as we see the 2 car making his way out of pit road. The 47, I believe, is still out on track. And the 8 car, I believe, is the first car a lap down right now. That'd be ID Gent. Now you see Blues Fan there in the 12 as he is doing his best to stay on the lead lap here. Keep in mind he got a lot of damage coming off of turn 4 across the start finish line. It's a single car incident. He still has not made his pit stop.
oh, 9 and 73. They've gotten into each other a handful of times right there.
And
I don't know what that was. That must have been for stage fight right there. Stage winner 32 car here.
yeah, the stage winner was the 32 Thunderclaps. So it's a little difficult on these shorter tracks to figure out who is where, especially whenever they cycle through green flag pit stops. I'm gonna take a moment here and I'm gonna read through a few names that Mountain Ranger wanted us to give a special shout out to. We've got Frank Adamski. We have Offrin Arachaga, Brian Burgess, Jeremy Faulkner, Dustin Feldhaus, Jamison Lindskog, Anthony Simmons, Eric Shaw, David Thomas, Andrew Looney, David Miller, Benjamin Osborne, Blaine Redding, Robert Barton, Matthew Catlett, Charles Jerdal, Joshua Lucala, Stephen Chevalier, Blake Evans, David Hart, Ivan Merlo, Philip Panier, Benjamin Brosh, Brandon Honert, and Louis Grease. Those were some names that Mountain Ranger wanted to give a special shout out to on this Memorial Day weekend. As I mentioned before, Mountain Ranger is currently serving military veteran. So, special shout out to all those, and we are back here racing in stage 2.
It's always great having those guys from the military in here. We have a few of them, and always support them. You know, they're great guys, a great group of people, and half of them are on my team last season, and they're some of the best dudes you ever meet. You know, they got a good heart, good drivers. They make sure everybody stays in check. Fun people to race with.
Definitely some of the most disciplined to race with for sure, and they always have a good attitude about everything. You know, we can only thank them for their service because they're the ones giving us the opportunity to be able to do the things that we do. So, as I believe there's a caution on the speedway now.
Yeah, 8 car. It seems like the 8 car at IDG may have been into that one.
Yeah, I'm trying to scroll back here and see what happened.
Yeah, we got 2
Maybe
cars
who's
involved.
involved. As HBR McNabb in the 11 Toyota is your leader here in stage 2.
Mac Wellen also was involved in that wreck there too.
And that's the number 6 car, correct?
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting to see. I know personally for me, even though they had a very short run to that caution flag here in stage 2, I would be taking 4 tires if I was them at any point, which it looks as though the 11 car did. We get up there.
As we come to the restart here, we got Blues on the inside and Thunderclaps on the outside as they come to the restart.
As Blues gets a good jump on the restart. The 2 car right here on his bumper. The 2 car making his way up into 2nd place, passing Thundercat.
Over 3 wide.
3 wide with the 11 of HBR McNabb. He backs out of it off the corner.
4 wide.
ICJ taking it 4 wide. Oh, the 2 car goes around. Big wreck. Big wreck. The 18.
Another 2 cars in
22. The 6. The 4 gets checked up here. That's a caution. Everybody trying to get everything they could get off of those new tires there, and we see ICJ pushed it 4 wide, entering turn 3, or going down the back straightaway, and as they entered turn 3, it looked like a couple guys just tried to check up, and a couple people may not have some door-to-door contact, and the 2 car got the worst end of that.
Seems like when they got pulled 4 wide, the 11 car must have gotten pinched right there and forced it so you could get out of that pinch. Got the 2 into the wall, and the 2 bounced back out and caused a really big wreck. But as we come back here for this restart, let's see what happens now. Will they be conservative? Are they going to race a little bit clean? Let's hope.
Well, one thing I am noticing is there's a car in the top 5 that we see was having a struggle early on. That's the number 96 of Lost My Plan B, which you were talking about a little bit earlier, possibly making his way back into this thing toward the later stages. So who do you have your money on at this point? What are you thinking? Who would be your pick to win this race?
I think my pick would be Blues. Blues is one of those guys who's really, he's a guy who could get into your head. He's one that you need to stay really, really calm throughout the whole race, hard to aggress. And I think he has a really good mental threshold. He can push through these guys and be really strong and smart right at the end of the race. Let's just hope he can, stay up in this pack here and nothing really happens.
Oh, well, he just had some door-to-door contact with ICJ there. He
just saw it. It looks like he slid up the track a little bit there, too.
Yeah, it looked as though he had way too low of an entry all the way down to the apron in turn 1 and just skated right up the track into the 24. I see him on the high side now as he looks to be falling back as they're 4 wide entering turn 1, 3 wide. 96 got a good jump into the corner. But I think the 12 felt really bad about that move that he just made, so he dropped back there with ICJ just to kind of apologize. That's all you can really do in this game is say, hey, I'm going to drop back here with you. I didn't mean to do that. But if I put my money on anybody, right now I'm kind of between that 11 of HBR McNabb and maybe the 96 of Lost My Plan B, because HBR McNabb is currently in the lead, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta scroll through here. Yes, he's currently our leader. He seems to have a really strong Toyota Camry. But you know that Lost My Plan B, after losing on that last lap pass last week, is really looking for a comeback. So
yeah, I bet he's really thirsty for that win right now.
Oh, for sure.
I think Plan's going to be really conservative, and I know he'll be up there in the top 3 at the end of this race. Same thing with HBR. They are both really good guys. I helped out HBR last season. He was on Team Ford, and I hope for the rest of his time racing with us, he does really good no matter where he goes. Right now with Toyota, he is doing really great, and I'm proud of him. He does have a really great mentor, which is Plan, the 96 car. But yeah, just see how this goes, and hopefully HBR and them can stay up here in the front. One of the best drivers.
Right, which I actually interviewed McNabb after the Las Vegas race last week, and last week he was consistently in the top three. I mean, I think he ran third for most of that race. And I asked him what he was lacking, and one thing that he said he was going to work on was off the corner speed. He didn't have any forward bite coming off the corners last week, and I know now we're at Phoenix, where that forward bite off the corner matters more than it does at any mile-and-a-half track. And with him up here in the lead now, and really maintaining the gap back to that 47 car, it seems like he's possibly found something that works to his favor to where he has that off the corner speed. I'm going to scroll back through the field here, try to find some action. And here we are with SB Royal Key. He's found himself back here with the 12 a Blues fan and the 73. Probably running about 7th, 8th position. Got the 22 right on his bumper. Key looked pretty strong in the early going. We saw him take the lead away from the 24 car. Let's see who else we got here. We have Any Cool Gamer tag. I'm not sure if he's lagged out or if he's just making a green flag pit stop at this point.
I think he might have lagged out here. Let's hope not.
We have Comical, the 47, who in stage 1 was very strong. I believe he finished that stage in 2nd position, as he is here in 2nd position again. But being challenged to his inside, as we have a little bit of action in the back of the pack with the 22 getting loose. As that was ICJ to the inside of the 47 for 2nd, and now Lost My Plan B is right there.
Oh, we got a spinner.
Oh, dude. Oh,
4
it's
car.
the 4 car, yeah, Harvick fan.
It's only him.
Pastrana is also in the pits. Not sure if he lagged out or if he left. Plan B has moved his way into the 3rd position, so he is definitely one we're going to keep our eye on. But right now, got the top 3 establishing themselves here in stage number 2. The 96, you could tell by the way he's driving now compared to stage 1 that he's definitely got those adjustments in that he was looking for. I don't think he's playing too conservatively at this point.
I think as they get later in the stage, they're going to start pushing really hard for these stage points here, but we know that they probably have to pit one more time for tires here, and we got to see when they're going to do that.
Right. And unfortunately, neither of us have a ticker or any way that we're going to know, as we have the 12 car, it looked like, going around on the front straightaway. That is Blues fan. I'm trying to scroll through and get to him. He spun it off of turn 4 for the 2nd time in this race. Maybe just heating up that right rear a little bit too much, and once you do that, not being able to cool it off, the car just starts to get really loose, especially on the tight corner like 3 and 4.
Yeah, it seems like he kept it off the wall there. If he did get on the wall, he tapped it a little bit, but he's got really no damage on his car right now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking also. I think he may have kept it off the wall. He is catching back up here to the 22, which is his teammate, and the number 6 of McClellan. The 22, Mountain Ranger, of course. Back up here, taking a look at HBR McNabb. It looks like the 96 of Plan B just entered the pit road, so expect this number 11 to possibly enter pit road this time, or possibly the next. ICJ has really lost some time to the 11 here. As it looked like the last time by, he had a little bit of trouble off 3 and 4. Or not 3 and 4, but 1 and 2, excuse me. The old 3 and 4. I believe the number 2 car has moved his way up into the 3rd position now. As the 47 car goes around off turn 4, nails the inside wall.
HBR is pitting right now as that car has fun. That brings Jay into the lead for this cycle.
So it'll be interesting to see how much longer Jay stays out. So if he stays out too long, these guys on those fresh tires are going to eat him alive.
I think he should come in this time by.
I think so too, but it's going to be really challenging with that 4 car who's a lap down right on his bumper. He stays out. I think he's planning on putting that 11 car an entire lap down before he makes his way into the pit, which he just successfully did. It looks as though he lets the 4 car by, so I believe he's pitting right here.
Now what's tricky about putting somebody a lap down here at this track, you got to make sure that you're a fast guy. Because if you go to pits, and even though they're a lap down, they can cycle back and have the lead again of how long this pit lane is.
Exactly. So the 24 stays out for an extra lap. The 11 is back out on track. You see there, the 22 and the 12 are exiting the pits. I think Jay's staying out just a bit too long, but I think...
He's still staying out.
Yeah, man. I think that's a little too risky. I really do. I think that's a little too risky because what he's allowing to happen is for that 11 and 96 to really use up the goodies on those new tires, and then they are going to have a big gap on him.
And he still stays out for this time.
Makes you curious if those 2 Toyotas split the stage in half. Maybe ICJ's going to go down to the pits when he absolutely has to, and maybe take just the right amount of fuel that he's going to need. And then...
possibly could be doing that. But it does seem like he is backing his corners a lot. Heavy. Because that 4 car is really gapping him out, as Jay is snapping loose right here. Now, what concerns me about this car snapping loose is when he tries to pit, if he downshifts and he messes up, he could spin himself out. Had a lot of guys in Xfinity last night have that problem. So let's hope here it doesn't really happen to him.
Yeah, he's definitely got to be careful on pit entry here. I know for me personally, I try not to downshift whenever I enter the pits, just simply for that. When you throw it down into 3rd and then down into 2nd and it over revs the engine, that's when trouble happens. I just try to keep my car in, which I run custom setups in the leagues that I run.
He slides up into Blues. Blues is trying to get his lap back here.
And he gets one
Blues
of his
will
laps
slip on by.
Keep in mind, Blues, I believe, is now only 1 lap down.
Yeah.
Because he had some trouble coming off of turn 4. I can't believe ICJ's staying out this long. He's got to be pushing the limits here. I believe he's going to take 4 fresh tires and take a half a can, possibly 1 can of fuel as he is entering.
Looks like he's coming down right now. He's coming really fast.
Yep. Now, I'm not sure who is going to cycle through to be the leader. We'll try to find the 11 car because he let him going in. So yeah, there's HBR McNabb now getting his lap back on ICJ. He has the 47 car behind him. Now keep in mind, the 47 car was in 3rd when the pit cycles. No, he was in 4th when the pit cycle started. So where's Plan B, who was our 3rd place guy? Oh, Plan B has gotten in front of the 11. So, but he is under attack. ICJ comes out in the lead here, so he will be on the fresher tires. 18 and 96 get together. The 11 gets under the 96. These two guys are racing. Now ICJ is still your leader, and he has the freshest tires on the track.
It seems like he might have a little bit of company with the 11 and the 96 right on his tail.
For sure, but if he's on 4 fresh tires, he hasn't started pulling away from these guys yet. He has about 7 or 8 laps fresher tires. Is there a possibility that he only took 2?
I mean, pushing 2 right now this early, I think would be a risk and reward. But I'm assuming here they had to have put on 4 pair of tires because they are really keeping up with him right now. Normally for NASCAR heat, if you put on just 2 tires here at Phoenix, you're gonna have a struggle, especially if you're on your offsets of the corners.
Right. The 11 and 96 are not letting that 24 get away. I still see the 24. I believe he did take 2 tires on that stop because you see him being really conservative on his corner entry. If he had 4 fresh tires, he would be blowing these 2 guys away right now. But he's not. He's actually under attack by the 96 on his outside. It's getting followed up here by the 11. So lost my plan B, I believe, is taking the lead. And the 11 right there gives Jay a little bump coming off the corner. Jay gets a little bit loose. The 11 follows the 96
Jay's going to
on the
fight him
outside.
back though right here.
He
gonna
pulls a
slide
slide
up right in
job,
front of
gets
him.
crossed under though. McNabb crosses him under. Gets to his inside in the dog leg on the front straightaway. He's going to have the line advantage going into turn 1. He dives it down low. 24 hangs strong on the outside. Almost gets the wall. That's going to allow the 11 car to clear coming off of 2. The 11
Jay's
gets the
coming
wall.
back up side by side right here though.
Yep, the 11 car got the wall coming off of turn 2
See if he accidentally drives it in too deep.
He doesn't. He hangs on to it.
Oh,
These guys are
door
bumping, banging.
They are door banging. Seeing some signs of some early aggression in this race.
Oh, absolutely. These guys want these stage points. Saw the 24 dive it way down low. Something happened to the 96. The 11's getting to his outside. The 11 to the outside of the 96. But he's getting a bumper from the 24. It's going to allow the 96 to get back in front of the 11.
This fighting's really helping the 47 try to get up there with them.
I was actually just about to say that that 47's really closed up. I mean, he was a good second, maybe second and a half back from the 24 a few laps ago. And all these 3 guys being side by side, bumping, banging, fighting, that's closed the 47 in. Looks as though he's right within about 10 car lengths. I would say he's right at 1 second behind ICJ here. But the 96 and the 11 have both gotten around him and pretty much established themselves as first and second. The 47 hits
47.
the end of pit wall. Oh, man.
And see, it looks like he snapped out of the corner right there too, really hard.
That's a heartbreaker. It's 24 trying to get back up here to the outside of the 11. Looks as though
Now back on our on how we were thinking about this, how we thought Jay was going to be a little bit ahead of these guys. It seems like he may have pushed himself a little too hard here, you think? Or do you think he was trying to be conservative a little bit at first before these guys caught up to him?
What I think it is, honestly, is he stayed out until he had to pit. And I think we know he had to pit because of the right rear tire. That's just common sense with this game. So I think he ran that right rear tire down to the point that he couldn't turn another lap. he got just enough fuel to get him by, but the left sides don't wear too heavy on this track. So I think what it is that he took 2 tires, and he took just enough fuel to get him by, and that's why these 2 tires are hanging on now with the 11 and 96, is because they got all the goods out of their 4 fresh tires. I think that's why he's hanging on with them, as he's back to the outside of the 11 car for second place. But as these two battle, the 96 is just pulling away. The 11 pulls over, lets the 24 get on by.
Seems like the 47's back up in this too. He's trying to give him a little bit of leeway though, give him some room, as he must be a lap down after getting caught up in pit lane here.
That's what I was thinking also, so he's probably a lap down. He's going to be battling the 8 car, it looks like, for the Lucky Dog.
They must be nearing stage end right here. There's a lot more aggression going on throughout the whole field now.
As Mountain Ranger goes a lap down to Plan B. Quite a large gap back to the 24 at ICJ. But 96 dealing with a bunch of lap traffic, as there is the end of stage 2.
Stage 2 finish.
Lost My Plan B is your winner. I believe that's going to put Mountain Ranger as your lucky dog. ICJ second, HBR McNabb third for the stage. Hang on. Oh, okay, so SB Key is your stage 2 winner.
Yep, number 18. Wow. Again, sorry, stream. We don't have. We can't always look at who the leader is right here. Kind of sucks, but
yeah, we don't have a ticker or anything to go by. What y'all see on our screen is what we got. We don't have a lap counter. We don't have any kind of a ticker to tell us who is where. But SB Royal Key was the winner of stage 2. Plan B was second. ICJ was third. McNabb was fourth. So here we go for stage 3. Plan B is your leader. He drops it all the way down in the dog leg, clears himself off into 1, and HBR McNabb moves up to second. Now those 3 guys were racing each other pretty aggressively toward the end of stage 2 there, as SB Royal Key falls back to 4th, gets a nudge from the 32 of Thunderclaps, and moves himself up into 4th position to the inside of ICJ. But ICJ has that outside momentum off of 4 and clears himself off of 32. So that's going to be one guy we really got to keep our eye on. I think he's been sneaking around here, is that 18 car.
It seems like SB's got a long run car here. He always drops to the back on every single restart, but he always gathers it up about 3 to 2 laps in. So, I mean, with his tires kicking in like that, it seems like he's going to be a guy that's going to be content throughout this whole rest of the stage here.
Definitely going to be interesting to see how this thing plays out. Looks as though Key is challenging the 24, but that 24 just keeps staying on the outside. It's one thing about Phoenix, is when it comes to defending your position, you want to force the car to pass you on the inside. That way you're always getting the high side momentum coming off the corners. Plan B is under attack now by HBR McNabb for the lead.
Seems like HBR here has been trying to peek up on him. See if he can try something here when he gets a run out of this corner.
Well, I'm riding along with Lost My Plan B, currently looking back at HBR
Oh, he's
McNabb.
coming in.
So he comes to the inside of him here, but see how the 96 moves up, stays on the outside to defend his position, and it allows him to get that momentum, and he's able to clear him. And then through 1 and 2, they pretty much run the same line. Looks as though the 11 got a little bit better exit off of 2 that time. ICJ is sitting back in 3rd place, waiting on these guys to get side by side, let him get back up here to him. I'm just actually gonna stay quiet here for a minute. Vibes, feel free to commentate however you want to. I'm just interested to see how this battle for the lead plays out, honestly.
I think we should have a little bit of crank it up here. See how these guys race. We are in stage 3.
I agree with you. I mean, it's really interesting watching these two battle here, man. I mean, the Toyota definitely looks to have, they're definitely the manufacturer to beat. Now you run with these guys every week. Is there team practices, or does the whole league practice together? What goes on behind the scenes here?
Throughout the week, the whole team, sometimes the teams will practice with each other, but then we have, mandatory days where everybody practices together to get some chemistry going, learn how everybody else drives so you can be aware. Things like that help out this league.
The 24 sneaking in the picture here.
Yeah. I did the same thing for my Xfinity guys, too. Just keep pushing on, and what I tell them, just make sure you have call-outs and stuff. We practice that, too.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge with this game, having no reliable spotter. Most drivers, if I'm not mistaken, have the spotter feature turned off because it's not accurate whatsoever. Not nearly as bad as the NASCAR 21 ignition spotter, but pretty much everyone will call out, hey, I'm to your inside, hey, I'm to your outside, with whoever they are racing against currently. So the responsibilities of, what I should say is the drivers take on a lot of responsibilities to look out for each other on track so that they can have the cleanest racing possible.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've solidified my pick on who I think is going to win this thing tonight. I'm thinking HBR McNabb.
Hey, don't forget about that 18. That 18 is sneaking into view now.
18 is in 4th. Now, ICJ snuck up to these two Toyotas leading in, but he fell right back off really quick. Maybe these guys are playing a little more conservatively, and Jay possibly saw that, started sneaking up in the picture a little bit, and then those two guys took back off again. But that 18, I don't see him gaining too much ground on the 24. Possibly just has his car set up to run on the longer run, or maybe strategy, maybe pit strategy. I don't remember seeing him pit or when he pit exactly in the last stage, but maybe he's running a completely different strategy than his two Toyota teammates who are running up front here. We'll keep an eye on the 18 for sure. So actually, I am going to ride on board here from the hood view with the 18, just so we can watch this action between the top 4. 96 gets the wall coming off the
Oh,
4.
yeah,
That opens
96
the door for
rode
the
the wall.
11, HBR McNabb. And I think the 24 is going to take his opportunity to capitalize. He drives in hard, gets into 96 again, puts him in the wall. Oh, 18 hits
96 is
Plan
just
B.
dropping back now.
ICJ bounces off the wall coming off of turn 2 there.
Now for the 96. I don't know if you remember, but this might be a little deja vu for him. Last week, the same thing
24
happened.
and 18 get together. The 18 drops it all the way down. Here comes the 12. I believe the 12 is still one lap down. I'm not 100% sure. He's looking to have a bit of a strong car. And he just bounced it off the wall coming off of 2 also. So coming off of turn 4, the 18 got his nose barely to the inside of the 24, and the 24 dropped down to take the dog leg. Took the nose off of the 18 a little bit, and the 18 had got sideways, had to save it. And he lost a good bit of time. So now the 96 is right there on the 24, trying to get back around him after one mistake, and the 24 dove it into one to capitalize on the opportunity and put him in the wall for the second time. So good battle for second, and that's everything that HBR McNabb wants to see. Keep in mind, I did say HBR McNabb is my pick, and I believe you said Plan B was yours. Or did you say...
Yep, it seems like you're winning here a little bit.
Well, it's definitely hard to tell, but you know that the 11 and the 96 are running on the same strategy. Those two teammates, the 96 up in the wall again in 1 and 2, which allows the 24 to get back around him. Maybe some right front damage for that 96.
Let's hope he doesn't damage it too much more. He's probably going to have to pit.
Well, what I'm seeing on my screen is this battle for second place. I'm looking from Lost My Plan B. And this is exactly...
Again, the 18 is sneaking up on both of them.
That's
It might
exactly what
peak
I
at
was about
3
to
wider.
say. The 11 definitely wants to see this happening right now, as these three guys battling for position. You see the gap between the leader and those 3 cars is just opening up lap after lap. 18 slide jobs his 24 up into second. 24 is crossing him over, but the 18 is going to have that high side momentum. Gets around him on the outside. He's going to set sail to go after that leader. 96 drops to the bottom to follow him up. So there we are. We're looking back from HBR McNabb in the 11 Toyota from the lead, back to the 18, the 96 and the 24 back there in second, third, and fourth. Looks like the Toyotas are the one to beat here at Phoenix. It looks as though that Toyota team has found something that works here for Phoenix, as the strongest running Chevy for the day so far has been ICJ.
The one thing, okay, I love this track. I love it with all my heart. The one thing I hate about
So as we are expecting green flag pit stops to start any time
Yep,
now,
they
as
are
they
going
are
to-
now starting. What do you say we crank it up and let this thing cycle through?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, as we are currently waiting for the 18 of SB Royal Key to make his green flag pit stop,
SB Royal, he's the leader, and there's 26 laps to go.
as he is taking the 25 to go. I believe what he is doing is trying to push his car as far as it can go in order to have the freshest tires on track whenever they cycle completely through. So I believe he's probably going to be pitting here within the next lap or two, I would imagine. It's taking 24 to go this time.
I think we give about 2 laps. I think he'll come down here.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking also. It's definitely going to be within the next lap or two. Don't know how much longer that right rear is going to hold on. But he got himself up to the lead right there. After, I mean, he was catching HBR McNabb there, especially in that long run. McNabb dove down into pit road. So I imagine after everything cycles through completely, McNabb will have the lead again, but he is probably going to have a good 7, 8, possibly 9 laps fresher tires, and you know he's going to take 4 tires for the end here. So the 18 is just
18's
dropping
coming
on
down
the pit
right now.
road now. And the 11 is entering turn 1. I don't know how it is for you, True Vibes, but for me, I can swap directly between the 11 and the 18, who is currently getting his lap back. As the
A bunch
18,
of guys are also down pit road right now too.
I believe
just should
most
end
of
the
those
cycle.
guys are a lap down also. But I can directly swap between the 18 of Royal Key, who is currently in his pit box. McNabb is taking the lead back now. And Royal Key exiting the pits. So the 96 Plan B is within a second of our leader, but there you see the 18 coming off of turn 2, about a straightaway behind, in 4th position behind ICJ.
Seems like HBR McNabb is in the lead right now. He was running really fast tonight. With a really good handling car. I think he might have this one, but we might have people come down to pit lane one more time this race for tires, with tires being the main problem at this track. You at least
Quite
worry is
possibly.
gas a little bit.
Quite possibly another cycle of pit stops, but I think it would only be those guys who pitted early on in the cycle. I think the 96 pitted 3 laps before the 11 did, so the 11's definitely going to outlast the 96 on tires, that's for sure. 24 pit on the same lap as the 11, but that 18 car, he stayed out for a good 8 or 9 laps longer, so I'm not sure that the 18 is going to have to pit again, as right now the 18 is on the back bumper of ICJ. So Be interesting to see. The 18 has made his way around ICJ. Now he does have the freshest tires on track, so let's see if he can run down these other two Toyota teammates of his. So I'm riding on board in the hood view with SBR. 96 and the 11 are battling it out. That's exactly what Royal Key wants to see.
He also has Jay right behind him, the number 18. Jay is catching up here a little bit. As we are coming to 14 to go right now.
It took 14 to go. My eyes are on SB Royal Key right now. I'm riding on board with his hood view right now, Vibes. He has 10 laps of fresher tires than the two leaders in front of him, who are now encountering lap traffic. And they're battling each other at the same time. He went from having an entire back straightaway gap between him and the leaders to now he is right at probably about 2 seconds behind these guys. So what do you think is going to play out as they're coming to 12 to go?
I think it's going to play out. It's going to be a Toyota race right here. Unless Jay can catch up, I think it's going to be, like I said, full Toyota race, and SB might catch them coming up. Depending on how aggressive they are towards each other, they are teammates, but they are racing for points for the championship later on this season.
Well, they might be teammates, but I just saw a really aggressive move by the 96 to get in front of the 11 there going into turn 1, and the 11's diving it right back under him here in 3 as they're coming to 10 to go this time. 96.
Oh, wow.
So these guys are... Oh,
18's got a car spinning right in front of him.
Ooh. You know that 18 car's heart skipped a beat that time. That was the 47 car. The 96 is starting to gap himself from the 11 now. And you see the 18 is now within 5 car lengths of the 11, and he is closing in on these two. 9 to go this time.
Now for Jay to catch up now, he's going to need a caution. He's about 4 seconds back here.
Oh, there's
With
10 to go.
10
10 to go, excuse me. So Jay pitted on the same lap as HBR McNabb, whose cars seem to have fallen off.
SB's about to pass to the inside here. He might slide up the track.
He keeps it a little low, gives the 11 some room off
into
the
the
corner.
wall.
96 bounces off the wall.
96 is dragging along there. He just lost 2/10 that time.
Oh, the 18
they
bounced
both
off
get into
the wall.
there.
They are driving their hearts out as they're coming to 8 to go this time by. 18 on 10 laps fresher tires, but they've both knocked all the goodies off of it. They're both just holding on. That 96 is defending. Now, you see the 96
is running his corners really, really hard here. I think that's really what's going to kill his momentum.
I don't know. I think what he's trying to do is tell the 18, if you're going to pass me, you're going to have to pass me on the bottom, which, like we talked about earlier, the way to defend on this track is to run that middle to high line. Make sure you get that corner exit speed. But I don't know if 10 laps fresher tires is going to be held off by running that higher line. He's going to be blocking through the corners. He's going to be doing it. Oh, he bounces off the wall. 18 on his bumper.
Again, yep.
18 goes to the top. 96 dives in. He's going to slide up in
Should
front of
be
the 18.
coming to 6 to go right here.
6 to go. They both dive it down in the dog leg. 96 slides right up in front of the 18. Almost puts him in the wall.
Oh, 18's back in his corner there after that. He's going to get a good run coming out of the corner now, arcing it in like
run.
that.
He's to his inside.
Coming into the
96 at the wall.
inside.
SB Royal Key for the lead entering turn 3.
Keys goes to the lead.
The 96 back to his
trying
inside.
to peek him.
They're side by side coming to 5 to go. 96 all the way down to the pit wall. But the 18 clears him.
96 is dropping back a little bit out of that corner.
I
That
think
seems to
he's-
be a corner he needs to work on a little bit.
Oh, he's
Still got
staying right
time.
there with him, though. So they're coming to 4 to go this time. 96 hanging right in there.
96 trying to get out of there and make him a little bit loose. See what it does here.
I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I'm thinking if that 96 can stay right there with that 18, you're going to see a little bump and run action coming through that final corner. But that 18 starting to pull away just a little bit. Oh, 96 wrecks it off of turn 2. So they're coming to 2 to go. That puts HBR McNabb
should be
into
3
second
right here.
position. Or 3 to go, excuse me. Oh, man. Lost my
That's a
plan
heartbreak
B.
for the 96 again for the second time.
2
this
weeks
season
in a
already.
row. Yeah, 2 weeks in a row. Last week at Las Vegas gets passed for the last lap. Or passed on the last lap for the win. And then this time battling for the lead in the late going. And loses it coming off the corner. That's a heartbreaker right there. I definitely feel for him. But definitely the strongest car here in the late going is this 18 as he stays out longer than anybody else, has fresher tires, and asserts himself as they take the white flag as the leader with a massive gap to second place. If you look from the point of view of HBR McNabb, you cannot even see the 18 car on screen here. You can. He's entering turn 3 as McNabb comes off a 2, and the winner of the Friday Night Thunder Series at Phoenix, SB Royal Key, and the number 18.
SB with a good one right there.
That was a good win. Definitely strategized it right compared to these other guys. He was kind of in a league of his own. HBR McNabb second. And I believe the 24 was third. Or possibly fourth. But overall, definitely a lot of action between these Toyotas. ICJ being the strongest performing Chevy of the day. We really didn't see much out of the Fords. We saw Blues Fan lose it a couple times off the corners. We saw the 2 be involved in a few battles there, but really the top performers of the day were these Toyota Camrys. Unfortunately for Lost My Plan B, another heartbreaker 2 weeks in a row. So, it'll be interesting to see. We're going to take a minute and we're going to interview our race winner. And I'm going to pause the stream until we can get him in here and get things set up. So, we'll be right back. All right, and welcome back as we have the winner of today's race, SB Royal Key, bringing in the victory in his number 18 Toyota at Phoenix International Raceway for the Friday Night Thunder Series. SB Royal Key, congrats on your win, man. You were sneaky tonight. I mean, we really didn't have our eyes on you too much until you got the win there in stage two. Tell us about your night, man. It looked like you just had a completely different strategy than the other Toyotas. Just tell us about it.
Yeah, at the beginning, I went with a very tight setup, and my car wasn't that much performance at that time, so I just relaxed for a couple minutes to stage two. Stage two, so it was the same thing but I know I could save my gas and my tires very well. So after the two lagged and made contact with me, I started saving right there, and I got the stage win. In third stage, when I got clear air, my car started to turn better, race longer, and it got better as the race got longer. So when I last pitted, I loosened the car up real fast and I took off. And that's how the story ended.
Yeah, we definitely kept an eye out for you in stage three. Uh, Really a good battle for the lead there for a while between the 11 and the 96. The 24 was trying to get up there with those guys, but we saw you riding around there in fourth, and we're just keeping a special eye on you after stage two. Just wondering what you were going to do in comparison. It looked like you pitted about 9 or 10 laps after those other two Toyotas. Is that just how you strategized your race in order to have the fresher tires at the end? Because, man, after you made that green flag pit stop, you ran them boys down and set sail.
Yeah, mostly Phoenix is mostly the tire, like Gosler or like something that you don't you need fresh tires, because if you don't have fresh tires at the end of the race, you're mostly done. So yeah, it was on my plan, just ride it in fourth for a little bit, then start to be aggressive at the end.
True Vibes, do you have any questions for him, buddy?
No, not really, but I am surprised and damned I'm proud you pulled it off, SB. Very proud of you, man.
Thank you.
It was a hell of a win, that's for sure. Congrats on it. Look forward to seeing you race again. We're gonna move on to our runner-up this week, HBR McNabb. For anybody that's watching the stream again this week, as y'all know, I interviewed him last week after Las Vegas. McNabb, looks like you found a little bit of speed in that car this week, man.
Oh yeah, definitely found a little bit of speed. It was just short run speed. I just didn't have the long run tonight.
Did you come into this race expecting long runs, or did you come in expecting things to be shorter runs?
Well, coming in, I expected to be long, but them first two cautions, I thought something was going to happen there, so I just set up my car for short runs and then just really never messed with it.
Yeah, I get that completely. You were having a really good battle for the lead there. Toyota definitely was the ones to beat, whether it was you in the 11 car, Plan B in the 96, which for the second week in a row had one of the top performing cars, and just one small mistake just costed him, unfortunately. But the Toyota guys, well, I guess I'm asking as for the league overall, but do you guys that run in the Toyotas specifically practice as a team at certain times of the week? Because it just seemed like all you guys tonight just had it together better than any other manufacturer.
Honestly, no, we don't practice at all. It's just, I've ran with Plan B last year, and Godsent, he's part of the league. I've ran with him last year. So we kind of got that already. We got that. We know how each other run. So but all the Toyotas are really strong this year.
Well, y'all were definitely strong tonight. and strong also last week, except you had Blues to deal with last week.
Yeah.
He had a couple unfortunate mishaps tonight. Vibes, you got anything you need to ask him? All right. So, congrats on your second place, man. I know it's not a win.
I appreciate it, guys. I
But-
appreciate it.
We're going to move on to ICJ, the top performing Chevy, and possibly the only one who had anything for those Toyotas up front. Man, we had you in a Discord call just so you could update us on lap counts, anything happened on track, who the leader was, things like that. So we got to hear some of the frustration, some of the discussions going on as far as things going on in the race, man. Just tell me what your mindset was, just things that happened in the race, and what had you so frustrated overall.
The Toyotas are really fast. Definitely, if this league had a radioactive, I'd be on it by now. But I'm happy with the top 5 finish. I did not have anything for those Toyotas. Unlike anyone here, I'm pretty sure everyone here can agree. I don't know how SB saved that much tire to get the win, but he did. Congrats to him. But there was not a lot of Chevy Senate racing, so I mean, I know this is one of my best tracks. I try to get 4th place from Plan B with the last lap slide job, but I can't complain with 5th place. Top 5 is always good.
Oh yeah, I understand completely. I noticed you also, whenever you would get up there to those Toyota guys, it's like they would work against you almost. Like they just would not let you get past them.
Oh yeah, I was getting sandwiched that whole race by SB, McNabb, and Plan B. They just had the strategy, and I was there as the lone wolf, as a Chevrolet, surrounded by like 4 Toyotas, and I'm like, oh god.
Well, I mean, it never hurts to be the top performer as far as a manufacturer goes, and all you can do is learn from it and move on to the next one.
Yep.
Where do you guys race next week?
Next week we'll be at Chicagoland for both Cup Series and Xfinity Series. Chicagoland.
All right. So what do we have to look forward to next week? Who's going to be the ones to beat at Chicago, do you think?
I've heard that that's Plan B's best track, because when we mentioned Chicagoland, he was laughing like, it'll be a fun race, and I'm like, I know that's your best track, man. You already told me this. I'm watching you. But yeah, Plan B's definitely going to be the person to beat next week, no doubt.
I know for my pick tonight, I picked HBR McNabb. I'm not gonna say he let me down. He finished up there in second, that 18. We didn't even have our eyes on him until he won stage 2, because it's hard to tell what happens through the green flag pit stops in the spectator mode. I believe Plan B is the one that True Vibes picked as his pick tonight. So it was unfortunate to see his mishap. But I did stream you guys' race at Las Vegas last week, so I'm going to be looking forward to see what Blues fan can do at Chicago, because of just simply off of the race at Vegas.
Blues fan is
two very
definitely really
similar
good at
tracks.
mile and a halves and such. Short tracks, he was never. I've raced with Blues for a bit. Short tracks are not his specialty, but mile and a halves, he's pretty good.
Well, I definitely look forward to seeing the action next week. True Vibes, is there anything you'd like to add to it, bud? Oh, okay. All right, well, he included his audio.
Yeah,
Everybody,
as a closing statement, 46 points, 3rd most points of that race. Pretty good for my standings. So far I can rise a few spots, but that's all I had to say. We'll see y'all next week at Chicagoland.
Oh, yeah, we look forward to being able to stream it and watch the action on track. True Vibes, he's unincluded his audio, but we appreciate his help in the booth this week. Possibly going to be helping out in the future. We'll just see how things go. I believe these guys have someone who streams their Xfinity race, if you guys want to give that a shout out and let people know.
Yes. Follow NASCAR King YT on Twitch. He broadcasts and commentates our Xfinity series. and I will also be up in the booth for Xfinity Racing. And usually we bring in a third guy that's from Cup Series. See if he wants to commentate. But yeah, me and PRL, we commentate Xfinity. So if you want to check out our lower series Thursday Night Lightning, hit up NASCAR King YT on Twitch. Give him a follow and tune in Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern.
All right, so there's a good shout out to NASCAR King YT. Y'all make sure to tune in for the Xfinity Series. I'll be covering the Cup Series for these guys. And we'll see y'all next week at Chicagoland. Y'all take it easy.